All praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Makar double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, who are the people that are going to believe the true doctrine, right? They're going to be the believers of the true doctrine of the Bible, right? And they're going to be Israelites, by the way, which is why I said the elect of the nation of Israel, the chosen people within the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a video on what life is going to be like in the kingdom of heaven, all right? What is life going to be like in the kingdom of heaven? And I'm not going to be able to give an exact day in the life of what it's going to be like in the kingdom of heaven, but through the scriptures and through prophecy, we can get visions and get like a foreshadowing of what we've got to look forward to in the kingdom of heaven, man, which keeps you going for starters. Now, let me read this. I think this is a good scripture to start with. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So one of the first things that's going to happen in the kingdom of heaven is that the children of Israel are going to have the ability the ability to receive justice for all the people that did them harm. So that's one of the things that's going to be happening in the kingdom of heaven, right? That's one of a big thing that every single Israelite will be looking forward to in the kingdom of heaven. So if you are not a person that feels like you're oppressed, excuse me, if you're not a person that feels like you're oppressed right now on this earth, then you don't need to have the patience and the faith of the saints, because you're saying, oh, you ain't oppressed. You ain't never been a slave. You ain't never this. So you ain't gonna be a person that's gonna have the patience and the faith of the saints, because you ain't a saint, right? A person that's a saint is gonna desire this. A person that's not a saint is not gonna desire that. So these are one of the things that you can understand that we're gonna experience in the kingdom of heaven, right? That's one of the things, man, that the people that led people into captivity are going to be going into it themselves. Now, here's some other things, and this isn't going to be in no particular order. These are just things that we have to look forward to, and how we can imagine what life's going to be like in the kingdom of heaven. Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 10, for this is the covenant that I'll make with the house of Israel after those days, saith Yahweh. I'll put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. Right? So the laws of Yahweh are going to be inside the minds of the children of Israel in the kingdom of heaven. Verse 11, and they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know Yahweh, for they shall all know me, from the least to the greatest. So every single Israelite that's going to be alive in that time in the kingdom of heaven, every single one of them are going to know the laws of Yahweh, and they're going to do them as well. It's not just going to be we know the law, because right now, right, we know a lot of the laws now, but are we doing them? No, we're not. We know a lot more law. Let me say it like this, right? Every single Israelite that that knows every single person that's an Israelite right now that knows that they're an Israelite, we know more laws than we're keeping, right? We know about this law, that law, that law, this law, but we're not keeping some of the laws that we know because we can't. For starters, that's one of the things, because it requires you to do something to somebody for some of these laws to be actually fulfilled, man, and kept. But in the kingdom of heaven, we're gonna keep them all. And some of the laws, we're not gonna have to even worry about. Or let me say, not some of the laws, some of the judgments, we're not gonna have to worry about, because no Israelite is gonna break these laws to have to receive the judgment, right? So that's a beautiful thing that we've got to look forward to in the kingdom. Now, what's gonna happen as a result of that? Well, let's go to this. As a result of the children of Israel keeping the laws, this is what's gonna happen as a result of that. Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as how my power commanded me, that you should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nation. So we're going to be shown to have wisdom and knowledge, wisdom and understanding in the sight of every other nation, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. And the true way how this scripture is going to be fulfilled, because this is really like a prophecy. right? But the true way this is going to be fulfilled is in the kingdom of heaven. And this links up with Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, and Micah, the 4th chapter, verse 7. For what nation is there so great who have Yahweh so nigh unto them, as Yahweh our powers in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great to have statutes and judgments, so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day, which there ain't no nation that's got all of this, right? And the law that we've been given, let me go to this. Because these was one of the first things that I really started to understand in the Bible, man, the new covenant, man. That was one of the first concepts that I understood, because I was always, when I first started hearing I'm an Israelite, I've been hearing about, man, the curses led us into captivity. It led us into this captivity, that captivity, that captivity, that captivity. But then I'd hear about the kingdom of heaven, and I was just thinking, man, but if we got this kingdom of heaven, then we're just going to end up going back into slavery again. And then I heard Israelites start talking about the new covenant, right? And then I was like, oh, so that would mean that we wouldn't be able to go back into it ever again, because the laws are going to be inside of us, right? So then we're not going to sin anymore. So then therefore we're not going to ever end up in captivity again. And that was one of the first concepts that I truly understood in the Bible. Hence the name for this channel, which previous channels that I've had and long gone or whatever, I never had that name as the title, as the video channel, but it was one of the main things that I used to go into anyway, because it's a beautiful thing that we need, man. This is what Yahweh Shai is going to do for us. Sirach chapter 19 and verse 19, the knowledge of the commandments of Yahweh is the doctrine of life, and they that do the things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. So you're going to be immortal in the kingdom of heaven. That's something to look forward to. Because if you've got, let me get this scripture. 1 second. Yeah, let me get this. If you're immortal, if you've got a beautiful life, right, the last thing you would want to do is lose your life, right? If you've got a beautiful life and you ain't got nothing to vex you in your spirit, nothing that gets on your nerves, everything's nice, the worst thing that you can think of is that, man, in this life, man, one day I'm not going to be alive anymore, because I'm going to get too old and I'm going to pass away. And all these beautiful things that I enjoy now, I'm not going to be able to enjoy them no more. That is not going to be a problem for the children of Israel. That's not going to be a thing that we're going to have to worry about. Sirach chapter 41 and verse 1, right? Sirach chapter 41 and verse 1. O death, how bitter is the remembrance of thee to a man that liveth at rest in his possessions. That's what we're going to be doing in the kingdom of heaven. We're going to live at rest in our possessions. We're going to have multiple amounts of money, unlimited swag. Since Jake likes swag so much, you're going to have swag in the kingdom. You're going to have an afro, and you might have your crown. If you're Jake that was given the crown by the Lord, you're going to have your crown, and your crown might just be hovering over your head, man. You might just be able to keep your crown following your head top, but by the power of the Holy Spirit, man. Like I heard T.I. get asked, yo, how did you used to keep that hat on your head, man? How did you used to keep that hat on your head back in the day? Because he used to wear his cap like right to the damn last millimeter of his head. And we're like, yo, how did you? They asked him in an interview. It was kind of funny. They said, like, how did you keep your hat on your head back in the day, man? And he said, man, that's God's geometry. And that's what Jake gonna be doing in the kingdom, man. We might just have our hat on, our crown following our head. That crown that the Israelites get given by Yahweh, they might just have it on their head, like hovering over the head, man, because they might have such a big throw that, man, I don't want to ruin my throw, but I want the crown too. And the crown might just follow their head, man. So it's on their head. It looks like it's on their head, but it's not, like, not touching, not like really messing up their hair or whatever, man. Whatever it's gonna be, their crown's gonna be around them, man. But that's just a thought. Like, it's not really, wouldn't really matter if that doesn't happen in the kingdom. There's gonna be way more enough things that we can read about in the scriptures. But that's just a thought, man. Because the more things you can think of that you got to look forward in the kingdom, the more you're gonna hate this place, and the less likely you're gonna be to sell out in whatever this place has got to offer you, right? to a man that liveth at rest in his possessions, unto a man that have nothing to vex him, and that have prosperity in all things. That's what we're going to be like in the kingdom of heaven. Yea, unto him that is yet able to receive meat. So, oh, death, how bitter is it? Remembrance of thee, but let's remember, right? And if you don't know now, I'm gonna tell you. If you're a person that, oh, you didn't know this, well, I'm gonna let you know now, right? The scriptures say that we're going to be saved from death. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 26. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death, right? The children of Israel are going to be free from death, man. We're going to be saved from that. We ain't going to have to worry about that no more. You understand? We ain't going to have to worry about dying. Where's that going to happen? A son ain't going to have to worry about burying his father. A daughter ain't going to have to worry about burying her mother. A father ain't going to have to worry about burying their children. There ain't going to be no death among our nation. It's not going to exist, right? That's things to look forward to in the kingdom of heaven. So one of the things in the kingdom of heaven that's going to happen, and this, like, it sounds far-fetched now, but it's going to happen though, right? Israelites are going to be trillions of years old, one Israelite. And then for all these people that like to talk about this age gap stuff, oh man, I can't believe he's a cradle snatcher. Mate, what are you talking about? In the kingdom, if an Israelite man is 1,000,000,000,000 years old and he gets a new wife, she might be 20. Is he a cradle snatcher? Because he's trillions of years, billions and trillions of years older than her now. Is he a cradle snatcher? Oh, how you dating them young? Are you like them young girls? Is that what you gonna say? Is that what you people are going to say? Oh man, he like them young girls. Mate, I'm 1,000,000,000 years old. What are you talking about? Like, she's a woman. Oh, she's 20. You can't do that. She needs to date a man her own age. Nah, she's gonna date me, mate. In fact, she ain't gonna date me. She's gonna be my wife. I ain't trying to hear none of that. Oh, you're a cradle snatcher, mate. I'm 1,000,000,000 years old, and she's gonna be my next wife. She's 20. She's 18. Oh man, you're a no. I'm not a you're a. You know what I mean? Men are gonna be trillions of years old, still look young in their youth, and have trillions of years of wisdom. You understand? Because let's not front, man. If King Solomon, like all you women that talk all that cradle snatcher stuff right now, yeah. If King Solomon, King David, Hezekiah, all the ancient kings of Israel were still alive right now and was in their youth, Joshua, Moses, Jacob, yeah. If all of these men were still alive right now, all the mighty men of King David, if they were still alive right now and were still in their youth, you women would want to date them instead of these so-called high-value men of this society right now. Don't front. And these men would be like 3,000 plus years old if they was alive right now. And you women would want to be with them. So don't play games, man. Don't play. You wouldn't be saying, oh, he old. He old. Now you wouldn't be saying that. Because when you women are young and you're in your 16 and all that, you be desiring men that are older than you. By decades a lot of the time. So let's not play games, man. But then your hypocritical selves want to try and call men something when they desire women that look better. But then you don't think that there's nothing wrong with you for desiring men that you think look better. But anyway, but that's another thing that we got to look forward to in the kingdom. There ain't gonna be no annoyance of Eve getting on our damn nerves. Eve ain't gonna get on our nerves in the kingdom. She's not gonna do it, right? But let me go back to this topic on the death. That's not gonna be among our nation. Revelation chapter 21 and verse 4, and I shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. So that's what we're experiencing now. All these people saying we ain't, or you ain't a slave, you ain't a this, you ain't that. Don't tell me nothing. Don't even dare try and tell me about what we're experiencing. You can't tell me nothing. That sounds like that Benjamin thing. But hey, on the real though, they can't tell us nothing. These heathen that ain't going through the curses trying to tell us what our situation is, mate. You ain't going through the curses. So the reason why you're a bum is because you're just a bum. The reason why people among our nations ain't got it like that is because they're cursed. They've got the brain, They've got the knowledge, they've got the traits to make it, but the curses keep them from doing it. And even a brother that's doing all right to a certain degree in this world now, mate, his brain power should actually be making him own a company, not be a manager role or be a higher earning employee. No, he should be running a company and be giving out apprenticeships to fellow Israelites. Okay, you're gonna work for me for 7 years, and after that, you're gonna be able to build yourself up. That's what it would be going on if it was the kingdom, or if it would have been ancient Israel. Even the Israelites that slither through and somehow make a position for themselves, they'd be way better off in the kingdom. So there might be a millionaire now, mate. There'd be a billionaire a couple of times over if it was our kingdom. There might be worth 100,000. There'd be a millionaire if it was in our kingdom. There might be high 5 figures. There'd be high 6 figures if it was our kingdom. That's just what it would be. Now, I've put notes in this before. I want to remember. Okay, Isaiah chapter 65. 1 second. Isaiah 65 and verse 19, man. Because that's where you can go to prove that prophecy in Revelation 21 is talking about us, the Israelites, not everyone, which is what people always want to try and do with the Bible, man. Anything that's bad that says Gentiles, they always want to be like, oh yeah, that's talking about everyone. But in anything good that mentions children of Israel, somehow that's everyone. How the hell's everyone children of Israel, but then no Israelite can be mentioned in Gentiles ever? Or that they can't be no part that it says Gentiles, that sometimes it's talking about the children of Israel? When we know that there is times in the Bible that it's speaking about the children of Israel, but it says Gentiles. John chapter 7 and verse 35 is one of those places. Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 19, and I will rejoice in Jerusalem and join my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. So there ain't gonna be no more Eve rapper papa in man's ears. There ain't gonna be no more videos on the so-called black woman, and she ain't gonna be called Eve. She's gonna be called beautiful, and whatever other nickname a man might have for his wife. He might have a personal nickname for each and every single one of his own wives, man. And none of them are gonna get on his nerves. And the true way that a man and a woman are supposed to be with each other is going to be continually expressed among the children of Israel. The true fullness of a male and female relationship is going to be shown among the children of Israel. The true way how a man is supposed to live his life is going to be shown among the children of Israel. And just like how people so-called idolize celebrities, that's going to be the same kind of thing that the heathen nations are going to do to the children of Israel, to let them know and to let them be like, oh, this is how I want to live. Because right now, a large portion of women are, oh, I want to live like Kim K. I want to live like Kim K. Oh, I want to live like Beyonce. And they're trying to live like all these celebrity women. But in the kingdom of heaven, these heathen are going to want to live like us. And the same way how people in this world now, they try and mimic how celebrities do things, and they always want to talk and pull out a celebrity out there behind as to how, but the celebrities do this, and then people say to them, yeah, but you ain't a celebrity though. You shouldn't be talking like that. Well, in the kingdom of heaven, people are going to be always bringing up Israelites as to how they live and how they do this, but people ain't going to say, but you ain't an Israelite. They're going to be like, well, yeah, that is the way. And let me get a scripture as to why I'm saying that. Because these thoughts come from things that we read in the scriptures. Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 2, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of Yahweh's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. So every single nation is going to want to see the ways of the Israelites. And many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. They're going to want to know how we do things, right? And some of them are going to be like it says in the scriptures, that they're going to bring them, we're going to suck the breast of the Gentiles, right? And that the Gentiles are going to bring in their wealth to our nation. When they do that, they're going to get a little glimpse of paradise in that every single time that they come and do that, man. Just like how people bring merchant ships to America right now, Babylon, and then they think that they've seen paradise. Oh wow, America, they was just so free, and it was just so free, and they just had. Well, that's not real freedom. That's just them being wicked. But in our kingdom, when they get a little glimpse of seeing how we do things, just a small amount, man, they're gonna be like, "What the hell is this? What is this?" Like, I want this. I want this for our people. And when they go back to their nation, they're gonna be like, "Man, we really need to keep the laws. I've seen why. I've seen why it's important to keep the laws, because it's gonna be the top of their people that might be the ones that bring their goods into our country, and they're gonna want to try and get advice from the leaders of Israel, man. And if they're lucky, they'll get to meet one of the higher up leaders. But it's not going to matter which Israelite they meet in that time, because every Israelite is going to be kings and priests, right? And they're going to teach the heathen the right way. Verse 4, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people. So if they come to us, oh, how can we live like your people? We're like, okay, I'll go over to your country and I'm going to examine it, right? And we're going to judge amongst them. You see this one here? You see this person right here, yeah? Is that your son? Yes, master. That's my son. Why has he got a mohawk? Why has he got a mohawk? Why has he got a turquoise mohawk and tattoos on the side of his head? Ain't you heard what is in our laws? He needs to be punished. And Yahweh's going to give us the exact way to punish that. One of the first things he's going to be that he's going to have to grow his hair back, because you can't be having no mohawks according to the law, right? Then we might go through the next place. You see that woman right there? She's stressing out her husband about yada 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 and this and that, yeah. But she ain't thinking about what he desires. He wants a second wife, and it's not up to her if he has one. So he's allowed a second wife. Don't try and restrict him from having another wife. Who the hell are you to tell him that? The law says that a man can have multiple wives, so he's gonna have another one. And watch how that changes her mentality and how she treats him, because she's gonna know she can't try and step out and get a next man, because that's going to lead to another law amongst our nation, how we judge this whole earth that you people live on, and not only the earth, the whole universe. She's not going to be able to go and step out on her husband. But when she sees that him with another wife that's treating him with respect, she's going to realize that he's value more, and she's going to know, oh, it was me going off that I was treating him like this, because that woman seems to be able to find peace with him. I'm jealous of that. I'm envious of that. I'm going to try and treat him better now. That's some of the things that's going to be taking place, man. Because amongst our nation, our women ain't going to be envious of anything we're doing, because they're going to be in their right mind. And we're going to be in our right mind. But among the heathen, we're going to have to judge amongst them. That's things that we've got to look forward to in the kingdom. Being perfect ourselves and being able to look and, I guess you could say, help other nations. And maybe we could even go far as say, be a light unto the Gentiles, yeah? Let's even say that. But being a light unto the Gentiles don't make them Israelites. Even if you wanted to try and say that, well, we're going to be a light unto the Gentiles, be a light, the Gentiles are not going to ever be Israelites. We're going to be a continual, oh no, man, a continual role model, if you want to say it like that. That they can be like, okay, this is why I'm trying to keep the laws, because I want to be like these people. That's why I'm doing it. Verse 4, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn one anymore. There ain't going to be no world wars. There ain't going to be no more wars amongst nations, because the children of Israel are going to govern the whole earth, for starters, then the whole Mars, then the whole Jupiter, the whole Saturn, the whole Pluto, the whole Mercury, yeah, the whole Earth, fam. Now, people might say, ha ha ha, that's hilarious. Black people governing space. It's even more hilarious the thought that you Edomites think you're going to be doing it. when you haven't did a good job with Earth, for starters. That's more hilarious. That you think you're going to be governing the space and going to... Mate, you ain't even did a good job with the Earth. There's not nowhere on this Earth, there's not one country on this Earth that has got peace. There's not one. Is there one country on this? Is there one, mate? Is there one city on this Earth that's got peace under Esau's rule? Is there? I ain't never heard of it. Is there one place on this Earth that keeps God's commandments on this Earth? Even one town? Is there? Mate, I'll set off. Is there one house? Okay, let's not. Maybe that's a bit too extreme. Is there one person? No, there isn't, man. Yeah, Esau thinks he's more righteous than us. Yeah, right. No, you ain't, man. Oh, verse 5, O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of Yahweh. And we are going to walk in the light of Yahweh. And in us walking in the light of Yahweh, we're going to become a light to the other nations. That they're going to be like, man, surely this is a great and wise and understanding people. They're going to say they ain't going to have no choice but to confess that we are that, right? And we're going to rule over them with a rod of iron, by the way. It's going to be strict. It's not going to be no laissez-faire, or you can go and come as you go, come as you are. Or if you don't want to keep the laws this week, all right, that's fair enough. But we're going to put a tariff on you. No, you're keeping the laws all the time, or you're going to get judged for it. That's what it's going to be. Righteousness is going to rise up from the roots, man. It ain't going to be just cast down like how it is now. It's going to be an everlasting thing on the earth, pushed continually by the unlimited amount of children of Israel that there's going to be. There's going to be way more Israelites than there's going to be heathens on the earth. Way more. Because we're never going to, as our numbers increase from us having children, they're never going to decrease. Right? They're never going to decrease. The heathen are going to naturally live longer, so that there'll be able to be enough of them to serve the children of Israel, as is their position. But in their serving of the children of Israel, it's not just going to be Israelites going upside the head for no reason. No, they're going to keep the laws. And they're going to want to. That's the thing. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 25, but that which ye have already, hold fast till I come, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over nations. We're going to have power over the nations. So don't try and make it like these thoughts that I'm saying in this video are just me desiring to be some kind of ruler over, like Conan the Barbarian, over people, sitting on a throne surrounded by skulls, drinking wine out of a skull. Nah, I don't want to drink wine out of a skull, mate. A gold cup will do. A golden chalice will do, mate. You know what I mean? I'll be nice with that. I don't need to be no weirdo. Verse 27, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I have received my Father. So they're going to be broken to be able to know the right way. And that first 1,000 years of the kingdom is going to break these nations so that they know, man, we better start keeping these laws. We've tried our little rebellion things here and there. We tried a thing. Let's just keep these laws, man. And whenever any other nation, any of people among their nation start trying to think that, nah, we don't have to do what they're saying, because they might not be around us for a while. They might not see an Israelite for a while. They might not see an Israelite for a big time. So then they might start getting simple. Man, we don't need to rule. We don't need to listen to what they're saying. Who are they? What I'm going to do, yeah, is I'm going to take these stones, I'm going to carve them, and I'm going to make these stones look like a wolf, and we're going to become the Wolfites people, and we're going to bow down to this wolf, because I've been looking at the wolf, and I've seen how they live, and I kind of like how the wolves live, and we're going to start worshipping wolves. Oh, no, you're not. I'm snitching. They're going to run. Massa. They's going to try rebel, massa. Oh, thanks for the heads up. I'm going to show them something. I'm going to show them something real quick that's going to take all their rebellious nature out of them. These are some of the things that we've got to look forward to in the kingdom now. Again, somebody's going to say, oh, watch this guy, man, mate, this guy is just ridiculous, man. He's just making things. All right, I'm making things up. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 7. These are the blessings, by the way. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 7. Yahweh shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face, and they shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. Is that going to happen in the kingdom? Because that's a blessing. Are we not designed to be in the kingdom for blessing? Like, that just lets you know Yahweh's mindset. It says in the scriptures that Yahweh is a man of war. Now, there's not going to be no more war in the kingdom. We know this, but that don't mean that there ain't going to be no more battles in the kingdom, man, where people try and rebel against our rulership. They ain't going to win. It's not my belief that they'd win, but I can't see how this is not going to be a thing that's going to happen. I ain't going to say that no Gog and Magog are finna rise up and they're going to have a rule. No, but I think that the nations are going to try and rebel. Now, let me get this to show that nations are definitely going to try and rebel, right? They're going to try and rebel, because I don't want no one to say that, oh, I'm just making things up and adding to the dot, because I wouldn't want to do that, man. I wouldn't want to do that, right? But I'm going to read this, Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 16. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King Yahweh of hosts, and to keep the feast of tabernacles. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth, meaning they're going to rebel, right, unto Jerusalem to worship the King Yahweh of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. This is going to happen. This is going to be one of the judgments for rebellion against Yahweh Bar Shem Yahweh Shai and the children of Israel, but ultimately rebelling against Yahweh. You're going to get no rain then? Or you thought you could not keep these feasts? Drought mode. Yeah, we ain't playing with you. Forget it. Never mind a tariff or tariff on imports. A tariff on rain, mate. You used to get tons of rain at this time of year. Now you're getting nothing. So all those crops and the things that had you gassed up, making you think you could rebel, you ain't gonna have them no more. This is what's gonna happen. So it would be better to just not rebel, right? That was what it would be, right? Just don't rebel. We're the ones that are supposed to rule the earth. So allow us to rule over you, filthy heathens. That's what it's gonna be, man. Don't buck up. Don't run up. Because if you run up, you get done up. Sit down. Keep like, what's there with that t-shirts that they have? Keep calm and blah 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 blah. Keep calm and keep the commandments. Yeah. And relax yourself. Don't start getting gassed up, thinking that you're gonna rule next. And that, oh, this is I heard them say the other day that this is Nebuchadnezzar in the reincarnation, this guy here. And you know that the Israelites know everything. So Nebuchadnezzar didn't Nebuchadnezzar used to rule in the past? So we can rise him up and he's gonna rule and he's gonna take them down. Nebuchadnezzar ain't gonna be rocking with y'all. Nebuchadnezzar gonna be like, you know what? Nah. Because back in the day, I was Nebuchadnezzar, but you know what? Yahweh back in the day humbled my ass and made me eat grass. So I ain't messing with y'all. I'm snitching. And Nebuchadnezzar is going to snitch on y'all. You might try and get Balaam to try and rise up again. Balaam, you know what? Back in the day, I heard them say that you're Balaam in the reincarnation. And I heard an ancient story way back in their scriptures. Their scriptures do say that you try to put a curse on them and you had to beat it. Nah, back here in the day, even I was smart enough to know that, nah, I ain't supposed to do that. I'm one of the Israelites' top servants. I ain't messing with y'all Moabites. I'm snitching. I'm snitching. You ain't gonna mess my situation up. And mate, I got 70 wives. I didn't have 70 wives under Moab. I got 70 wives on this. I ain't trying to mess with y'all. You're messing up a good thing for me. I'm a billionaire, right? I'm one of the top among Moab. And you're trying to talk about rebellion. What? I don't want to rebel. What are you talking about? I'm nice stuff. I'm nice. I'm 200 years old. I'm nice. Like, I ain't trying to, okay, I'm not going to be immortal like the children of Israel, but I'm 200 right now. You know how hard it was to live to 200 years old back in the day? So I ain't trying to deal with none of this rebellion stuff. Forget all this rebellion stuff that we're talking about. I'm snitching. Yeah. Master, just run. Y'all ain't gonna have, mate. The best thing for you even to do in the kingdom is gonna be relax yourselves and follow the commandments. And in fact, if you wanted to keep the kingdom that you got now, that's what you should have did. If you wanted to keep the kingdom that you're in charge of now, you should have kept the commandments. But you didn't want to, did you? Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. The children of Israel's kingdom is never going to be translated because they're all going to keep the laws. Back to verse 17, it shall be that whosoever shall not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King Yahweh of hosts, even upon them shall there be no rain. And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague, wherewith Yahweh will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the feast of the tabernacle. So even if after the rain they still want to try a thing, mate, it's gonna get worse. This shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles. So what's the solution to that? Because that's what people always like to say in the world, right? You saying all this, you saying all that. What's the solution? The solution is going to be that the heathen keep the laws. Don't start getting an attitude problem. Oh, they've had the kingdom rulership for 1,000,000 years. Man, why? Because we're the ones. What's one that I started saying, one of these Jakes say in the world? One of them ones, and that. Mate, we're the ones, man. And we ain't playing. We ain't gonna be playing with you. We're gonna all. You're not gonna be able to. Let me read this. Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 21. Thy people shall be all righteous. You ain't gonna be able to find a sellout among the children of Israel. You ain't gonna be able to find one. Like right now, where you can. You ain't gonna be able to find one in the kingdom of heaven. They shall inherit the land forever. We're gonna inherit the holy land forever. But not only that, the rest of the earth, all the mansions that Yahweh shall mention that in his father's house, there are many of them. We're gonna have that too. And once things are truly established on earth, well, then it's gonna branch out. Things are gonna branch out, man. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified, because it's gonna ultimately give more glory unto Yahweh. Verse 22: a little one shall be a common thousand, and a small one a strong nation. Israelite man is gonna keep on what's the word I'm looking for, man? Multiplying himself, because his children are gonna be a reflection of him, but then his children's children are gonna be a reflection of them, and we're gonna keep multiplying, man. We're gonna be fruitful and multiply, and it's gonna be amazing, right? And guess what, man? There's not anything that any of you people that have got a problem with us can do about it. It's not gonna matter if you say you've got black fatigue. That's not gonna help you. I've got black fatigue. I've just about had enough of all these hanky panky. All right, do whatever you're gonna do, mate. Go and open up on one of your 25th account, yeah, and start spewing your hatred on the internet. Go ahead. Let me use one of the terms you Edomites use, man. Crack on, Basil. Yeah, go ahead, mate. But it's not gonna help you in the grand scheme of things. You're still going where you have to go. In fact, this is accelerating you going there. To be honest with you, Yahweh will hasten it in his time. Now let me go to this. Verse Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 16. In fact, verse 15. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, which we have been in this world, that whole new term that got coming out, black fatigue, right? That's part of the hate. And the black fatigue doesn't really, all you Latinos out there and you Native Americans, that covers you as well. This whole black fatigue thing, that's including y'all as well, man. Y'all are in that. Because are any of these Edomites crying when ICE are coming and running up in your house, casting y'all out and throwing you out of the country? Are they, oh man, this is messed up, man. This is messed up. I can't believe that they're doing this to these Mexicans. This is absolutely, I'm outraged. I'm going to speak to the president myself personally. Are they saying that? No, they're not. They're laughing. They're thinking it's funny. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee. People ain't trying to move around, be all around us. I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shalt suck the breast of kings, meaning the nation's resources, we're going to be drinking of that, man. And thou shalt know that I, Yahweh, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. Yahweh is the mighty one of Jacob, man. And he's going to send the mightiest one from our nation, Yahweh Shai. to redeem us. Verse 14, the sons of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee. So the descendants, like they want to say, oh, it wasn't me, it was my forefathers. It could have been your 5 fathers, mate. Your 7 fathers. It wouldn't have mattered what number father you want to talk about. It wasn't me, it was my forefather. It could have been your 1 father, your 2, your 3, your 5 father. Mate, you're gonna be bowing down to the children of Israel. All this, it's not us, it's the elites and all these terms that you want to come with. That's not gonna matter, man. Because the first generation of Egyptians that put the Israelites in captivity, was that the same generation that started getting struck by the plagues? I don't think so. I don't think so, mate. But when it came time for every single Egyptian to lose their firstborn, they all lost one. There wasn't no house where there wasn't one person that was unalived. There wasn't. So what are you talking about? And could they have said, it's not us, it's the elites. Pharaoh stole my family's wealth back in the day, but through your forefather Joseph, this is outrageous that my firstborn died unalived. Because your forefather Joseph, he told Pharaoh how to steal all of our people's wealth, and we sold our houses and our land for food back in that day. This is outrageous. Yahweh didn't care about none of that. In fact, he used that to make us be able to get a chance to get into the land of Egypt, so that we survived the famine, but also that he could fulfill a prophecy concerning our people, that we would go into captivity for 400 years under a nation that is not ours, under a people that are not ours. So if he was punishing his own people at that time that he loves, you think he cares about punishing your people? No. And what did the children of Israel do to deserve the captivity of Egypt? Was that part of the curses? No, it wasn't. Because that was before Yahweh told us about the curses. So you can't try and, you people don't know, man. Y'all don't understand Yahweh. He does what he wants for his own purpose, man. The story of the children of Israel going from what they became, a small nation, the least of all people, to going to be the greatest of all people, as the sea, sands of the sea. The sands of the sea things not even began to be fulfilled, man. That's going to be really true fulfilled in the kingdom of heaven. That hasn't begun to even really happen. Shall come bending unto thee, and they shall be dying. And all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet. All you people that was running mouth, smacking your chops, talking about us on comment boards, man, as if your people have really did much more righteous. And then the thing is, the reason why our people is doing all the things that you might actually be justified in saying that we do, was because we're under the curses. It's not because of our skin color. There was other people with the same skin color and similar hair texture that wasn't doing these things, because it was the curses that made it happen. The city of Yahweh, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel, right? We're going to be brought up to a high level, man. Now, I wanted to see a scripture about the money thing, man. That must be okay, here it is. Isaiah chapter 61, no, Isaiah chapter 60 verse 17. For brass I will bring gold, and for iron I will bring silver, and for wood, brass. How many trees are there in the world, man? Loads. How much wood is there in the world? Loads. Brass isn't as nowhere near as much of a precious thing as gold. But Yahweh's going to give us gold like how the world has brass. And for stones, iron. And I will also make thy officers peace, and thine exactors righteousness. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land. You know, like people say, oh, the ghettos, black people, this your neighborhood, in your own neighborhood, in your own neighborhood, in our own neighborhood in the kingdom. There ain't gonna be nothing bad going on. There ain't gonna be nothing bad to speak about. You ain't gonna be able to point out anything about our people anymore. We're gonna do that to you. Anytime you try and complain about anything, but but you kill, but Moab unalives their own people. We're gonna be saying that to you. Yeah, but Ishmael unalives their own people. So why are you talking about anything to do? Why are you talking about the Moabites for? Yeah, when you do that to your own people. And we're gonna see how you like it. And you ain't gonna be able to say anything because it's gonna be established that the creator of the world that you live in, the creator of the reality that you live in, said we're the ones that are supposed to rule. So how are you gonna buck up against the reality of what you are in? Like how are you gonna do that? In a video game, the NPCs don't have as much characteristics and abilities as the main character. The main character can walk around 360 spins and jump, but the NPC might just be able to walk by and go, "Hey, good morning," and then keep it moving, and then go "ooh" when he gets banged into or something like that, and that's it. Then another NPC has got another bit more traits because he might be part of a scene, but after a while, his dialogue repeats. So he might say, "Oh man, get down on the floor. This is a stick up." If it's a robbery game or whatever, I said, "Get down on the ground now." And then afterwards, he's just gonna go silent. Then every time the main character goes by him, he's just gonna repeat the same thing. "Man, I think we really should get out of here." Then you walk by the wall, come back to him. He's gonna be like, "Man, I think we should really get out of here," or whatever he's gonna say. He ain't gonna have too much dialogue and stuff going on. That's gonna be you heaving. You ain't gonna you ain't gonna go no further than us being in charge. So the best thing for you to do in the kingdom, the best thing for them to do in the kingdom is just follow our lead. Don't try and act crazy. Because we're gonna have it all, man. You'll actually be blessed to them that bless us and cursed to them that curse. If you want to start running your mouth about us behind the scenes, well, then watch what's going to end up happening in your life. Right now, in this world, you can talk bad about us and end up better off. It's not going to be like that in the kingdom, right? It's not going to be. In the kingdom, talking bad about us is going to ruin your life, right? Straight up. Straight up, man. Where's that scripture I was looking for, man? New heavens and a new earth. Where is that? I'm almost certain it's around the 60s. Is it 65? I think it's in 65. Here we go. Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 17. For behold, I create a new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come to mind. In the current earth, talking bad about Israelites can get you praise. You can start a whole platform. Oh, the black race, yada, yada, yada. Oh, the black race, bada, bada, bada. And then you're just getting Snapchats. This needed to be said. $50. I'm glad someone's saying what we all knew. $200. The usual suspects doing usual suspects things again. $1,000. Mate, you've got my support. $21. 13%ers again. Here we go. The 13% of people. $2. Oh, the basketball people again are doing things. $2. You know what I mean? That's what you people do right now. That's in this current world. In the new one, you ain't gonna be able to do that. Talking disrespectful about the children of Israel is gonna get your ass messed up, man. Y'all are gonna have to watch your mouths. Y'all are gonna have to watch like the man. There's not. And when I think about this, it's hilarious, man. We talk about Esau and the shock he's gonna experience for really finding out that the people that he was talking badly about were under punishment from their Father that's in the heavens, and that there really is a God that nobody has seen, that exists, that's governing all of the stuff that's going on right now. You know the shock that they're gonna go through when they understand that truly. And never mind them, all the other nations too, that run their mouth. Elam that wants to try and look at us dodgy and that, and when you walk in his store, he's talking all that bagga and all that madness in his mouth and that, running his mouth, talking in some Urdu and that, running his mouth, chatting shit. They're gonna know too, man. All of these nations that they try and look at us sideways and try and think they can try and intimidate and do this and do that. Want to try and what they want our money, but they don't want to give us good customer service. And then they know that they kind of, to a certain degree, don't have to. Because where else we going to go? We don't have no industries. Well, in the kingdom of heaven, they're going to have to pay for all that. They ain't just going to have got to do that and get away with it. Nah, that's not going to be happening. That is not going to happen. And the former shall not be remembered, nor come to mind. So they ain't going to be able to try and come with none of that. They ain't going to be able to. They ain't going to remember. They ain't going to be able to come and try and come with none of that, man. But there's going to come a time where heathens only know about us winning. We're going to know as the first batch, if we're of the first batch of Israelites that make it, we're going to remember this time, man. We're going to be like, man, we used to be nothing, man. But the heathen are going to not remember. So I said that point about how they might be like, oh, they said this is Nebuchadnezzar in the reincarnation. Well, they ain't even going to know what that means in that time. I still think that they're going to rebel. But they ain't going to truly understand these ancient kingdoms of how they, just like how people right now, they don't understand that Esau wasn't always ruling. A lot of people right now think that Esau's just always been ruling something, man. But that's not true. I'm going to end the video there because I just wanted to talk a bit about some of the things that we've got to look forward to in the kingdom of heaven. And there's loads more things, and I'm going to get this one as well before I end. Right, there's loads of things that we've got to look forward to in the kingdom of heaven, man, that keep us from liking this place as much, man. Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 35. And they shall say, this land that was desolate is become like the Garden of Eden, and the waste and desolate and ruined cities are become fenced and are inhabited. So we're going to be the nation that brings the world back like the kingdom, like Garden of Eden, man. The land of Israel is going to be like the Garden of Eden. It's going to be beautiful, man. And there ain't nothing that nobody can do to be like, nah, I'm going to sabotage that. Nah. Any move you make is going to be towards bringing the kingdom of heaven to happen. Even when they say, oh, now we're not gonna deal treacherously with no more. You know what? We've heard them Israelites say that if we don't do anything wicked no more, then we're gonna end up not having to go into captivity. So you know what? We're gonna not do anything to none of these nations. We've got our thing kind of set up as we want. We're not gonna do anything wicked to them no more. Oh yeah, you think so? You think so, yeah? Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 1. Woe to you that spoil us. So you Edomites, you've spoiled people. And now it's not spoiled. You were spoiling and destroying people when you know one was doing nothing to you. And dealt treacherously and dealest treacherously. And they dealt not treacherously with thee. You was doing all these things to nations when they was trying to just be cool with you, right? But then there's going to come a time where you start thinking, okay, you're playing around with World War III. You know? You're playing around with World War III. You don't understand. You're playing around with World War III. And you're not wrong when you say, he wasn't wrong when he said that. But when they decide, man, we need to just relax here and dwell in this moment right now of what we got here set up. Well, what's going to happen? When thou shalt cease to spoil, when you're like, you know what, we've got it how we want it now. We're good. We're going to say peace and safety in this moment right here. We're going to relax now. We got what we wanted, right? We got this portion of the land of Israel. We got this thing here. We got our cashless society set up now. Now we can just relax. We don't need to do nothing else, nobody. We've got the society that we wanted. The thing that our forefathers have been planning for centuries, we got it now. We're going to relax. But now we actually can start dealing with people nice because they're under our system and we can just treat them how we want it. Like we can treat them relatively decent under this. Relatively though, because we're still the devil. So we ain't going to do them too nice, but we can kind of, you know what I mean? When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. So even trying to relax ain't going to help you Edomites, man. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. So when you like, okay, now we're going to try and be fair. Now we're going to try and, maybe we'll try a little bit of what Jacob was supposed to do. That was never your role. It's not going to work. When you just say peace and safety, then some destruction is going to come upon you. You ain't going to be able to escape nothing, man. It's not going to happen for you like that. It's not going to happen. Right? Trying to go forward to move to stop the Israelites is going to be towards bringing prophecy. Trying to relax is going to be towards bringing prophecy. It's all prophecy. It's all connected. Everything that you've ever did and everything that we ever do is to bring the kingdom of heaven to pass. So the thing that we're waiting for is coming forward closer and closer every single day anyway. Right? And on that, I'm going to say shalom to the nation of Israel. Shalom.